craziest thing is, when you speak on the fact that being out of shape is not something to glorify, you're called mean, a fat shamer, told to mind your business. They want you to feed into the propaganda that, oh no, you're just thick, or their whole body positivity BS.
Hey honeys, welcome back to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So in our today's conversation, we want to look at body positivity. Is it real? Is it a scam? Or it has just brought laziness in people? Kindly listen to the following videos I've put together and I'll be back to share my own thoughts. Please don't go away.
Do you know what really rattles my bones is when you are talking to some other girls about your fitness goals and you're like, my goal is to lose another 10 to 15 pounds. And they're like, oh my God, girl, like you look so good. You don't have to lose any weight. I didn't ask. I was just telling you my goals because you asked me what my goals were. I don't know why some people think that like looking better and improving your life is a threat. Not even that, but it's like they almost don't want you to lose the weight or to get into a better shape or to do XYZ because you're gonna look better than them. We can all just collectively be hot together. Like we don't have to pick and choose who's hotter and who's not. Like there's always gonna be somebody hotter than me. Like I really understand that. I get that. And that's just like how life is. But it doesn't mean that like I shouldn't stop trying to be hot. People genuinely preach such body positivity on this app and on other social media platforms on people that literally look like they're going to implode. And I'm not even just saying this to be like rude or disrespectful, but there's a fine line between like wanting to improve yourself and like what's actually healthy versus glamorizing and fetishizing something that is just not healthy. Like if you don't want to look a certain way or you have a certain goal in mind, literally do that. Don't let other people stop you from becoming hotter because people are just jealous. People are just always jealous.
What if the food industry was working with the pharmaceutical industry and purposely making people fat, putting in lousy ingredients, causing people to get overweight, and then the pharmaceutical industry creates a solution with Ozempic? I mean, that's nefarious. That's some crazy shit. But at the end of the day, when you have messaging like body positivity, getting everybody fat, and all of a sudden the last year, you have all these celebrities going through fat loss transformations, even Lizzo herself going through fat loss transformations. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the day that this is some dark shit going on.
I'm gonna say this with my whole chest. The body positivity movement was never meant to make you complacent with feeling like shit. As someone who used to weigh over 300 pounds, I can confidently tell you that we are taking body positive way too far. The point of this movement was supposed to be about portraying and accepting all bodies as beautiful and worthy, even if, especially if they're not blonde white supermodels. It was supposed to be about never equating the size of your body to your worth or your abilities. It was never supposed to be about just accepting being miserable in your body, but somehow the messaging has gone so far the other direction that wanting to change and improve your body is now seen as insecurity. I sincerely hope that people do start loving their bodies exactly as they are, but you cannot tell me that life is not harder in a bigger body. The shit that I had to deal with being over 300 pounds, you would never even consider if you lived in a smaller body. 2 years ago, I had a legit fear that if I shit my pants in public, I wouldn't be able to find clothes that fit me in the store. Sometimes when I went places, I would just stand the whole time for fear of breaking another chair. That's the kind of anxiety that just lives rent-free in your brain when you live in a bigger body, and it's totally normal for people who are big. The body positivity movement is supposed to be me wholeheartedly believing that I deserve to find clothes that fit me in the store, but I don't have to continue to live like that. And it's not fat phobic that I want to be in a smaller body. I've been working on my own fat phobia for years, and I can assure you that wanting to feel better, move easier, and live fuller all before I lost the weight did not come out of self-hate. I've lost 128 pounds and I feel better than I ever have because I loved myself enough to want to change. I tried just accepting that I was big and that was fine, but that wasn't fine for me. I was miserable. Am I wrong here, or can we be done with slapping a filter on our insecurities and calling it self-love?
So I feel like why the body positivity movement flopped as hard as it did is because y'all were gaslighting people. And let me explain what I mean by that. So at the height of the body positivity movement, I was around the age of like 17 to 19, and I had kind of just started college. And what was going on in my real life is that friends and family would fat shame me. And I later found out that I was not achieving the career and educational things that I wanted to achieve because I didn't look the part due to me being fat. And when I lost weight, I found out that that was kind of why. And I was also experiencing a lot of violence dating wise. And I'm not saying that being fat causes dating violence. However, I think that the perception of me as unattractive attracted certain types of people who just wanted to use me. And I think part of why I was viewed as unattractive is due to fat phobia and how men view fat women. There was also a physical component to this as well. I could not be outside if it was hot. I could not move outside if it was hot, I should say. And I fainted a couple of times. My mobility was limited just in general. I was not in good physical shape. And I'm not saying that that is true of all fat people. I'm not saying it's not possible to be healthy and fat. I'm not saying all fat people experience the discrimination that I experienced. I'm just saying what I experienced. And after I was experiencing all of that, I would go online and I would see people say, oh, like, I love being fat and fat is beautiful and all this stuff about how being fat is so amazing. And on the flip side too, I would also see skinny people like kind of preaching like, oh, I don't care about weight. I've like distanced myself from weight. I don't care about weight. But the thing is that in real life, I would say almost every single thin person I know is terrified of becoming fat. Almost every single one. And I don't see how that it was at all congruent with the messages that I was seeing online. So anyway, that is what I mean by the gaslighting. My personal experience in my actual life simply did not align with the activist messages that were being stated online. And at the time, I genuinely thought that it was like a skill issue. Like I thought that I was just like this like broken, insecure individual, which like that has a grain of truth to it. And you know, as you can tell, like I did lose weight and like things changed for me. And for a while I just kind of accepted the fact that like I'm one of the people who couldn't accept their body and I had to change it. But Ozempic really exposed that many of these people who were coming online and saying that they love being fat and that like fat is amazing, fat is this, fat is that. Ozempic exposed them because they got on Ozempic and lost the weight. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with losing weight or changing your body, obviously. But there is an issue with coming online and telling people that you love being fat and you've accepted your body and like being fat is just so amazing. And then the minute that there's a way to lose weight, you hop on that. There is something wrong with that because it means that you were being dishonest. And it just kind of shows that like you didn't really truly accept your body. You just couldn't change it before. So that's why you were telling everyone what you were saying. And I feel like part of the issue with the body positivity movement is that there were very few honest accounts of what it feels like to be fat and what it is like to be fat. I feel like the body positivity movement would have survived even through this Ozempic storm if there were more people who came online and were like, hey, my experience being fat is quite negative. And while I don't want to change my body or I'm not able to change my body, I would like to change the way the world perceives fat people. Instead of just pretending like we're in this like post-fat phobia world. Because that's what it felt like with the body positivity movement. It felt like a weird form of gaslighting where people would act as though fat phobia was already gone and that these are the predominant views. And there was nothing else to be done. And if you disagreed or like if you had a different experience, that just like wasn't true. I don't know if that makes sense.
Body positivity is absolute delusion. If you're 350 pounds, for example, and you look yourself in the mirror, you're gonna sit there and say, damn, I look great. No, sir, you need to hit the treadmill. Where's your self-accountability? People get angry at me when I say this because I'm built like Hercules. I'm tan like a Greek god. My physical appearance alone is formidable. You could be the same way if you were actually self-accountable. It's pure delusion if you're obviously unhealthy.
Hey guys, so I have been seeing a lot of TikTok videos from smaller sized people saying that they are tired of the body positive movement because it's too positive, it's toxic. And to that I say, we really need to start questioning why we are choosing to co-opt and involve ourselves in movements that have nothing to do with you. Now, as a fat person who has been a part of the body positive movement for years, I've written a book, I've written several articles, I've been an advocate for a very long time. I can understand why fat people are tired of the body positive movement. It's because it's been co-opted by smaller sized people who have centered themselves in a movement that was created as a safe space for larger fat people to talk about our issues, navigate fatness, and share experiences. It has been co-opted. So that's why we're sick and tired of the movement. But for smaller people to be sick and tired of it, maybe think about, well, all of this extra support that you allegedly don't need, that was for and is for fat people. If you have an average, normal, quote unquote, normal body where you can navigate the world and not be the victim of systemic harassment, abuse, maltreatment, trauma, triggering events, that's great. But there are marginalized bodies who go through that on a daily basis, who navigate in a world that constantly tells us that our bodies are disgusting and grotesque and that we are of low worth, that we do not deserve love, that we do not deserve care because of our bodies. So we are the ones that benefit the most from these movements. So we have a right to be annoyed that it's been co-opted. But if you are fatigued with the amount of positivity in this movement, maybe think about the reasons why you joined it and whether you need to be centered in a movement that is not for you. Just a thought.
So kindly share your thoughts in the comment section below. Because for me, I feel this movement has brought a lot of laziness in people. People have gained weight, I mean excessive weight with this movement. So I feel for me it's a scam. But what is your thoughts? Don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video. See you in the next video and stay safe.